Mama Diggs is back, but definitely something fishy about her return. We see Ghostface back on the block to record his album, but he definitely has some haters trying to take him out. Power may have a possible deal for Wu-Wear, but he has a major concern about ownership. And Bobby definitely finds a new sound. The RZA finds a new sound for the Wu-Tang's next album. This is the episode 9 recap for Wu-Tang and American Saga. After the Smoke is Clear. This is definitely for Ghostface's album, and also a lot along the way when it comes down to family and everything else. So we definitely gonna break this down. Before we get into this, family, make sure you check out all my episode recaps so you definitely get caught up on everything so you don't miss anything. And now let's break down episode 9 recap for Wu-Tang Clan and American Saga.
VACAY-JayTV.
So the description reads, in the penultimate episode of the series, Ghostface reflects on the sacrifices of his past while dealing with the bittersweet outcome of his artistic success. Meanwhile, RZA ventures to take a different approach for the clan's next album. So we start off with the RZA, and he's in a record store. There was a record store, obviously, in the airport because he's about to take flight. And he's looking for this album by David Axelrod, and it's a special album with a special song on it, but the guy doesn't have it in stock. Mama Diggs is back. That's right. We see that she is meeting up with the RZA because they're supposed to fly into New York together to celebrate Infinite's birthday. That's right. That's Ghostface's son, Ghostface and Cherie. So, of course, you know, they hug and embrace. It's been a long time. He's talking about getting a new sound and talking about trying to find this song. But, of course, she knows the song and she is taking credit for his production talent, right? And then he's telling her that, yeah, Ghostface definitely went back home to Staten Island, to Staten Island, to record his album. Of course, she has a lot of concerns about that. And the RZA assures her, listen, everything's going to be fine. Don't worry, Ma. You don't got to worry about anything. So here we are back in Staten Island, and we are ready. Who comes out of the car? That's right. Ghostface Killer comes out of the car. At this point, everybody knows him. He's famous. He has the golden hawk, or better yet, the golden eagle on his forearm. And yeah, that's right. Your man is back on the block. Definitely being welcomed by all the people, all the fam out there, definitely showing them love. You know, definitely good to be back on the block. And he says, listen, I'm back on the block for real. Like, you know, I may not be here, but my spirit is still here. You know what I'm saying? So they definitely looking at what he's doing, you know, showing love to Ghostface as Ghostface has made his way through the industry, definitely representing the island. But there's this black car, Acura, definitely around the corner. We got to watch out for that. So here we are. They're playing the Delphonics, right? And it is Infinite's birthday. I don't know if he's 1 or 2, but definitely he's getting up there. He's getting older. The whole squad and the clan is there, you know. Of course, his uncles are there, right? Dennis's brothers. And Infinite is definitely happy to see the fam back together. It's a great time. Ghostface is there looking like he's doing good. And, of course, Cherie and Mama Diggs, they're happy that it's his birthday. They're celebrating his birthday. It's all love, and Infinite gets to tickle me Elmo. You know, the RZA, his uncle definitely gives him a Nintendo 64. And last but not least, Ghostface definitely gives him a gift, and he got some ice, right? He definitely got to ice out his son, give him the nice necklace or whatever. Of course, Raekwon is like, yo, you know what I'm saying? He going to be outshining all the kids on the block, right? So, you know, the uncles is like, yeah, we didn't get this when we was kids, you know, and they talking junk or whatever. I guess they're a little jealous. But Infinite's like, yo, you didn't get like all these gifts when you were a kid? And he was like, nah, you know, we didn't have it like that, but you definitely will have it like that all the time. You don't got to worry about nothing. He also talks about his admiration for Delphonics. You know, whenever he felt down, he would throw in the Delphonics and he would feel better. Mama Diggs is in town with a whole bunch of bags, a whole bunch of outfits. She's talking about, yeah, she wants to be ready because, you know, she's down with the celebs now. Looks kind of fishy because she got a lot of bags. But Infinite is playing with his uncles. They're playing swords. And the family is back together again after a long time. So ODB rolls over to the RZA. And he's like, yo, dog, when we going to get on another joint, man? When we going to do another song, you know, with all the Wu-Tang Clan? He's like, yo, we going to do it when I find that new sound. Raekwon is like, new sound? What are you talking about, new sound, man? What are you talking about? And he's like, yeah, new sound, man. You know, once I get that new sound, out of my head onto the record. When I'm ready, I'm going to let y'all know. Everybody's like, all right, bet. Raekwon's like, yo, hurry up because, we're going to get busy doing other stuff. So now we got Devon. He's on the phone with Nina, and the baby throws up. Mama spills something, and she rolls up her sleeves where we see bruises on her forearm. Von is like, yo, Mom, how did that happen that you got those bruises? She's like, yeah, your little brother was falling down the steps, and he grabbed my arm real tight. And he's like, yo, he got a pretty good grip on that. Of course, that's real suspect. We're going to find out more. So here we are at Sam Ash Music, family. Shout out to Sam Ash. That's where you get music equipment. And the RZA's up in there buying some new equipment because he's looking for a new sound. So, of course, they tell him about the MPC 3000. That's when it first came out. So RZA picks that up, and he's picking up a couple of other things. And then he sees this guitar, and he's like, yo, what's that? It's a slide guitar, and he tells him about the artist that use it or whatever and has made some hit records. So, of course, he's like, okay, give me that too. So he's like, listen, man, I just want to let you know I love your music. I love what you did with Liquid Swords and the whole nine. He's like, yo, I appreciate that. And then we got OG in the back like, yo, thank the, actual musician who actually played that. He just lifted it. So, of course, the RZA's like, yo, OG, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's definitely getting paid. The musician's getting paid. He's like, well, you guys are making things bad for us musicians out here because you're not a musician. And, the RZA just like, yo, OG, why you hating? You know what I'm saying? Like, seriously. And he's like, yo, that's not cool. And he's like, you're not a musician. He's like, yo, my gold and platinum plaques tell me something different. So, of course, OG's like, yeah, whatever. So he's hating, and, the guy's trying to stop him. But RZA's like, yo, it is what it is, right? The artist is still getting paid. So here we are. We got your man, Raekwon and Power, and they rolling down the block listening to some joints. And yeah, definitely every time a Wu song is played, the Wu wear definitely goes up in sales. So here we go. We got Power, and he rolls up to Macy's, and they're looking out at the window. He's like, yo, look at the window. And what do they see? They see U-Guard, and they see Wu wear up in the front window of Macy's, right? So yeah, that's right. They got the ice cream, Wu wear going on. Of course, they celebrating. Power's super happy. Raekwon is like, yeah, I told him. See, I told him, son. You know what I'm saying? I told him, man. You know what I'm saying? We just going to make it happen. Right? So they're super happy. They see, Inspector Deck up there. Wu wear street gear is definitely out there, and they're making big moves. Power's definitely making big moves for the Wu wear and the brand for Wu-Tang Clan. So now we got Ghostface, and Ghostface is super happy because the RZA got the Delphonics to actually sing on this new song that they're going to do. He's saying that Delphonics definitely love Ghostface's verse on Can It Be. And, Ghostface is like, yo, what's coming all full circle? When I was a kid, I used to listen to them. Now they're on my album. It's definitely legendary. So the guy comes in and brings the record that RZA requested, but come to find out it's the wrong record, so he has to send them back out. Ghostface goes outside just to get a smoke. And meanwhile, we see this black car rolling around. It's obvious that this black car is following Ghostface. Definitely looks like trouble, and he has to watch his back. So now we're at the Wu Wear, the official Wu Wear store. And who walks in? We got Power. Power's running the show for all of Wu Wear. He's definitely the guy to make it happen. And we see these two Jewish guys. They're up in there, and they're obviously there for a meeting to meet up with Power. They're saying how, they're definitely excited about how Wu Wear is doing some big numbers, and they want to help take it to the next level. So they basically want to buy out Wu Wear, take it international, and whatever's being sold, Power would definitely get, royalties and residual off of that for the rest of his life. So they're making him a big offer. They're saying how, him getting it in Macy's was good, but they could take it to the next level and put it in all the different stores all over the world. So he definitely has something to think about. But again, let's talk about giving up ownership of the Wu wear and the Wu brand. So he talks to his pops. He has his pops come up in there. His pops has the clothing store. And he's like, yo, what should I do? He's like, yo, you should take the deal, man. If I had a deal like that a long time ago, somebody wanted to buy my shop, I would do that. And me and, your mom would be all over the world just traveling and enjoying the sunsets, chasing the sunsets. And he's like, yo, but I'm used to the work. He's like, listen, man, you don't want to look back on your life and say, you know what? I wish I did more work. Pop says, take the deal, and then you can recreate something else because you're a businessman. Of course, we see Ghostface as he's looking in the rearview mirror, and he's getting things ready because he's supposed to be meeting up with Delphonics. And what does he see? He sees that same black car right behind him. Boy, I tell you, I don't know who this person is, but definitely your boy Ghostface has the strap ready for anything. Again, he's back on Shaolin Island. Now he's famous, so you already know there's some perpetrators out there trying to get him. Delphonics roll up and they get in the car, right? So he's excited to meet them. They're excited to meet him. They brought the roll to the studio, right? So now here we go. The guy finally found the album that the RZA's been looking for. So they played a song, and it's not the sound that the RZA was looking for. It is the actual song, but it's not the sound that he was looking for, and that's in his head. So that's the most frustrating thing, to hear something and think you're going to get it from somewhere, right? So here comes Devon. He's like, listen, man, I'm going to be gone for a couple of days. If you don't reach me, don't worry about it. He's like, yo, what does that mean? What are you talking about? So he tells RZA, yo, it looks like, dude definitely put hands on mom. So Devon wants to roll to Ohio to send dude a message. He's like, yo, I want to go too. He's like, nah, you the RZA. He's like, listen, you're not Bobby Diggs no more. He's like, yo, I'm the RZA. I got a mom. We got to go handle this. So here we go. We got your boy Ghostface and the Delphonics, and he's saying how excited he is, how he used to listen to their songs all the time, and he's just excited to have them here in the car with him, about to do a joint with him. He's like, yeah, I came back home. He's like, yeah, that's a good thing. You got to remember where you came from. And then they say, you know what? It's all about remembering where you came from, man. Don't forget where you came from. So they're like, yo, Lo, hit it, man. Play some music. So he plays the music, right? And then automatically they just start harmonizing and singing to the joint, ad-libbing in the whole nine, right? Old school Delphonics flow, you know what I'm saying? They got that la, 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 la on there. Definitely the Delphonics is super dope, you know what I'm saying? So they singing along with the beat. They doing a little harmony to it. Ghostface is feeling it, it's like a dream come true. It's legendary and all of that. And yeah, he's looking through the rearview mirror. Who does he see? He sees that same black car's following him. And of course, he's ready, man. The black car tries to roll on the side of the car. Ghostface pulls out the strap and starts blasting on that car. You know what I'm saying? The car speeds off. It's like, you think you get me, son? You think you get me, son? You crazy, son? You know what I'm saying? The Delphonics, they super surprised, like, what the hell is going on? Dude had the shades on. He took off the shades. They looking at each other like, what the hell is happening right here? He's apologizing. Yo, my bad. I'm sorry, son. I'm sorry, son. You know what I'm saying? They can't test me, right? So they get to the studio, and Ghostface is in there about to lay down his verse. The Delphonics is like, yo, man, you see this cat, man? Like, yo, he was all kicking it with us, all smiles, and turn around. He started shooting and blasting. I don't know if we need to do this, right? He's like, all right, well, you want to tell him? He like, you want to tell him? You know what I'm saying? So Ghostface sees what's going on. He's like, yo, we good? Is everything all good? He's like, yeah, he's good. It's just, he's ready to do his thing already. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, yeah, I'm ready to do my thing. He's like, all right, well, I could do my verse later. Y'all could lay down the vocals right now. And it was like, yeah, that'll work. But they super shook because they don't want to set Ghostface off because, they don't know if Ghost is going to pull out the strap. So they go up in the booth and they do their thing, right? Ray is there like, yo, I can't believe you got the Delphonics to sing on your joint, man. And Ghost is like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? So make sure your verse is high. He's like, what? I'm about to kill you on your own joint, right? So here we go. Bobby Diggs and Vaughn. Vaughn got like a special strap for a dude that put hands on his mind. He's like, yo, we can't take this over the border, man. You crazy, man? He's like, what are you talking about? It's like, nah, we can't take this, right? We got to go to Ghost's house and get something, right? So here we go. Ghostface comes home. He's like, yeah, it was cool. He's like, how was it? Yeah, it was cool. He's like, yo, how you singing with your like musical heroes? It was just cool. So Cherie is kind of like questioning why he's like so laid back or whatever. He's like, yeah, I just ain't feeling, I had a shootout. And she's like, you had a what? You had a shootout? What are you talking about? You had a shootout? Yeah, man, these cats are trying to test me and all this and that. You know what I'm saying? So they try to roll up on me. So I had to, she's like, yo, what are you doing? Are you crazy? They could have been trying to rob me. So you could have bought some more jewels. You know what I'm saying? Don't be acting like this. You acting like, the old Ghostface. He's like, yo, don't be talking to me like I'm a kid. And she's like, yo, stop acting like a kid. You know what I'm saying? You can't move the way you used to move before. You a famous rapper now with the Delphonics who you love on your joint. So he leaves out, right? Next morning, mama cooks up some food and they eating. She's asking where Dennis is, and she's like, I don't know. He left. And here comes, the RZA and Devon's like, hey, what's going on? And He's like, hey, I need to go in your closet and get something from the closet. He's like, what you need to get? He's like, yo, I just need to get some tapes. She's like, there's no tapes in there, right? So they start arguing. Vaughn is like, see, mama, it's just like old times, right? All the kids arguing or whatever. She's like, yeah, it is. But, things have to change. He said, what'd you say, Bobby? You said, the Wu has to keep moving and move forward, right? And move on. He's like, yeah. So she pulls up her sleeve and shows them the bruises on her forearm. Of course, Cherie, she's surprised, like, yo, Ma, what's going on? Of course, Devon, he's seen him before, and that's why they was going to go out to Ohio and handle dude. And she's like, listen, that's one thing that we need to do. We need to all move forward. We need to all move on. I moved on. I left him. It is what it is. Don't even worry about it. She said, you want to clean something up? Clean up this mess right here. You know what I'm saying? Don't even worry about it. I'm fine. And of course, they hurting because, somebody try to hurt your moms. You trying to do something to him, but she's like, yo, don't even worry about it. Just move on. I left him. I'm not going back. So back in the studio, Ghostface is listening to the joint that Delphonics did with him. It sounded kind of dope. The RZA comes back and he apologizes that he didn't record it with him, but he just had to handle some stuff, right? And, they're just talking about how, he's trying to finish the album and everything. He's still trying to find the sound, and he hasn't found the sound yet, but he's definitely going to help him finish the album, right? And yeah, Cherie is like, yo, she's trying to get me to stop doing what I used to do. And the RZA's like, listen, we all got to stop doing what we used to do because, we got to move on and move forward and elevate, right? So Power's looking at this contract that these guys gave him, and he's really thinking about either selling Wu-Wear or not selling Wu-Wear, right? Licensing them to actually handle everything, right? So here we go with this young man. He's like, yo, any openings for a job? He's like, nah, there's no openings. But he's like, yo, kid, where you from? He's like, yo, I'm from 160th. He's like, oh, okay, I know about 160th, right? Here comes Raekwon up in there like, yo, son, I'm here to handle some business, son. You know what I'm saying? Let's handle some business. This kid is like starstruck, right? He's like, yo, that's Ray. He's like, yo, man, Only Built for Cuban Links is my favorite album, right? Could I, get an autograph? And, Ray sees his application that he got from Power. He takes the application and he puts his autograph on the application. He's like, man, you going to put your autograph on the application? He gives it to him, smiles at him or whatever. Of course, the kid is starstruck and he definitely wants to work there and want to be around the Wu-Tang Clan. And Power sees, the power of, all of that and the culture and how we're affecting our young men. So he definitely wants to keep the brand, keep the culture, definitely. They started from scratch. So they go back to the Macy's window and he's like, yo, why we back here, man? He's like, yo, man, I'm thinking about, selling the deal and selling, the brand, but it's supposed to be about us. It's supposed to be about the Wu. So, Ray is like, listen, I'll put something on your books, man, and we can get everybody else to do it. We can keep everything in-house. There's no way we're going to let some non-street dudes handle our Wu-Wear, period, right? So here we are. We back in the studio. And yeah, your boy Ghostface is playing, all that I got is you, right? All I have is you with Mary J. And it's dedicated, of course, to Cherie. He apologizes for doing what he was doing. He's like, yeah, you were right. I can't be doing the same things I used to do. And she's just like, I'm happy that you feel that way because, I need you around. He realizes that he's her partner and they have a baby together. He's a father. And she's really thankful that he's come around to realize that, yeah, they're a partner. They got a child together. They just need to be together and be safe. And he doesn't need to do the same old stuff that might get him in trouble. So here we are back at the Wu Mansion. We got the RZA and Mama Diggs. And he's showing her around because she was saying that she's never been there before. And he's like, yeah, we got this, we got that. And he's like, listen, Ma, you plan on staying in New York? And she's like, I don't know yet. I'm trying to figure it out. I may stay here, I may not. I don't really know yet. So she's like, you got this Wu Mansion, it's looking real good. You got the pool and everything. And, the RZA's like, listen, we want you to stay and we're going to make sure you stay. And Devon comes downstairs like, yeah, it's all about you staying here. And what they do is something real special that I think every son wants to do for their mom, which is to buy mom her own home, right? You got the Wu Mansion and you got everything. And they say to her, without you, we would be nothing. So, of course, she cries and she's like, I love my sons. I love you both. It's a real special moment, full circle. Take care of your moms. Definitely give her the house, right? So here we are. He takes her to the studio. She's like, yeah, this is not the basement. And she's like, oh, you found that album, huh? You found that album that you've been looking for. He's like, yeah, but it doesn't have the sound that I'm looking for. You know, it's in my head, but it's just not on that record, right? Of course, she's like, you know, I hear what you're saying. You definitely have to find that sound. He gets a phone call. And who does he get a phone call from? He gets a phone call from, of course, Dennis, a.k.a. Ghostface. And he plays the song. And he's like, yo, man, he plays that song that he dedicated to Cherie. He's like, yo, man, you want to be expand and keep going as an artist? I think this is the end of the album. And the RZA's like, nah, this is not the end, man, because I'm going to do something that's going to bridge the album to the next album, the next Wu-Tang album. So he's studying, you know, all the new music equipment. He's studying music theory as well. So he could definitely expand on that. He's playing around with the slide guitar, trying to really figure things out. He's definitely tinkering with it to try to get a sound, a different type of sound. You know, I think he really took offense to the guy saying that he wasn't a musician. So he's definitely going to try out his hand in trying to create his own sound and not sample everything. So I think he gets something down. He's like, yeah, that's it right there. So he calls up Ghostface again, and, you know, they're in the bed, they were sleeping, they was, you know, getting busy or whatever. And he's like, yo, he plays it for him. He's like, yo, what's that right there, son? You know what I'm saying? And he's playing this whole new sound. He's like, yo, man, that's crazy, man. Like, where you get that from, man? You're not a musician? He's like, I'm a musician now. He's like, yo, I just found our new sound for the Wu-Tang album, man. This is it right here. And Ghostface is getting all excited. He's like, yo, that's it, son. You know what I'm saying? That's it. So, you know, they're excited. And now we're about to lead into the season finale of the Wu-Tang Clan American Saga, where we are now going to go into the second album, the classic album, Wu-Tang Forever. So family, that's episode 9 recap. Definitely drop your thoughts below, drop your comments below. Let me know what you thought about this episode. Absolutely, I thought it was all about family. I thought it was a good episode. And absolutely, we see the evolution of Ghostface and the RZA. And now we're going into that final episode for the season. This is the final chapter, family. Definitely enjoyed it. You guys let me know if you enjoyed it as well. If you found me for the first time, definitely do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. And if you love this video, like this video, definitely check out this next one right here. Appreciate you for watching. Till next time, salute.